So my soul, my emotional makeup can be disrupted by something negative in the sensory realm. But patience is the key to stabilizing my emotions. When I can't see God, I can't feel him, I don't know what he's doing, and I feel frustrated because I'm like, God, where are you? This is a problem. I've got to put my patience into play. But here's the problem. Many of us think patience is waiting. Patience is not waiting. Patience is the posture in which you wait. Because all of us are going to have to wait in life. If you ordered a pizza right now and they said 45 minutes or less, and they didn't show up for an hour and 15 minutes, you're actually impatient, but you're still waiting. Patience is my posture. It means I don't like what I'm dealing with, but my trust is in God. Now watch this. If I'm going to trust God and I'm going to live by faith, I've got to grow in my relationship with God. Because as I grow in my relationship with God, it increases my trust in God the more he begins to fulfill his promises on my behalf. Because the greater the trust, the greater the peace. I know that's a little bit difficult for some to understand, but it's as simple as this. If you're in a relationship and you trust the person, you don't go through their phone. Let me help you. Because that means you believe they're doing what's right, so you have peace about it. But if you don't trust them, every time they set their phone down, you're trying to get the facial recognition and the passcode to see what are you up to, which means that person, by doing something to remove trust, has disrupted your peace. But if they prove themselves trustworthy, you don't have to hide in the bushes trying to see what they're going to do, because the greater the trust, the greater the peace. This is why we have to continue to grow in our relationship with God. Because the more we begin to grow in our understanding of how much he loves us and how much he's concerned about us, it becomes easier, listen to this, to wait on God when we're, oh God, I thank you, to wait on God when we're troubled on every side, to wait on God when we're dealing with situations, to wait on God when it feels like nothing is happening. We can always reflect on what he did in times past and hold true to his consistency, knowing that if he did it before, come on, Ty Tribbett and preach, he could do it again. This is why he put the children of Israel in the wilderness. It was only supposed to be an 11-day process to get them from their place of prison to their place of paradise. They had to go through the process. You got the promise, you got the prison, and in between you have the process, 11 days. God says, I need you to trust me in the process, because the reason why I created the process was to show you that I can take care of you outside of what you are accustomed to. Their confidence was in the Egyptian system. He was trying to show them that heaven has its own provision outside of the system. And he was trying to destroy their enemies so they could not pursue them into the promise. He says the wilderness is necessary to show you that I am your God and I will provide for you, and to take care of anything that would try to take you back to your place of prison. But the children of Israel were disobedient and would not accept God's process. And because of it, it was extended to 40 years. What was only supposed to be a short process, because they were not patient, it extends to 40 years. Being impatient won't make God hurry up. I love you, Jesus. It won't. Now watch this. Had they made the journey in 11 days, the land they went into would have been prepared for them, and they would have enjoyed the spoils of it without much warfare. How do you know? Because later on, when they finally get to go in, the concern is there were giants in the land. The giants needed time to grow. Their impatience put them in a process so long that the giants grew up. Well, do you have biblical proof that giants grew? Yes, because when the Bible talks about Goliath, it said he had been a warrior since the time of his youth, which meant that even giants were small at one point. But because they were so impatient, they extended the process and they gave the giants a chance to grow. Many of the battles we're fighting right now weren't even battles we were ever supposed to fight. But because we were so delayed in our impatience and we could not accept that God's timing was perfect, we ended up in a process or a cycle. The process turned into a cycle, walking in a circle, longer than God intended, which gave our enemy time to take what was already ours. So now we got to fight to get it, but it was never God's intention for us to have that much warfare. Don't bring more warfare into your life because of your inability to wait on God.